What's going on? You're watching NFL Daily by Chat Sports, and I'm Mitchell Renz. Today's show, NFL news and rumors, and come on, who else is excited? The weekend is almost here. The first story that I'm going to dive into is around Jamal Adams and the latest around him. So according to a report, the 49ers and the Seahawks have had discussions with the New York Jets about their star safety. This is interesting because if you remember, Adams put out a list of teams that he would like to go to. Both the 49ers and the Seahawks were on that list. And when you also, we're going to even rewind a little bit more, when you think about the NFC West, it really came down to about 6 inches. So I think if the Seahawks get them, that could really change things in that division. Or if the 49ers get them, that's also a big difference. But how exactly would Adams fit on both of these squads? Well, first, let's look at the 49ers. They have one of the best secondaries in the National Football League, and they were able to bring back Ward. But I think also you got to look at Tart. Tart's a good player. I would be interested to see where Adams fits because as good as Ward and Tart are, he is better than both of those players. Now let's go to the Seahawks here, where there was a report today that came out that Quentin Dunbar at this current juncture will show up to camp. But McDougald, Diggs, again, both players here that I think Adams is obviously better than. But if it really comes down to ultimately how can you change this division, I think going out and getting a player like Adams would definitely do that. So according to the latest odds from Sportsline, here they are for Adams. The Cowboys at plus 250, the Ravens plus 350, and then the two teams that we're talking about here at the very bottom, the Seahawks at plus 600 and the 49ers at plus 750. Both teams going after one of the best players in the National Football League. So those are the odds, right? Here at Chat Sports, we want you to get active. We want you to argue in the comments section because that's what makes sports a lot more fun, right? When you go to the bar and you talk about something like what you see on screen here. Where will Jamal Adams play in 2020? I want you to scroll on down and get your predictions in. Let's stick here with the Seahawks and let's talk about Pete Carroll because he's okay with the delay of training camp. And this quote, let me read it because I actually had to read it a few times. Whatever we need to do this the right is what I hope we do. Still didn't read it right. Yeah, it's okay. Bottom line is this, though. Pete Carroll, I think, is sending a message where right now the world is a little bit crazy, and with training camp still scheduled to start on July 28th, the NFL needs to do whatever the NFL needs to do in order to do the right thing. Can we all agree with that? If you do, give us a like. But here are some recent coronavirus impacts around the NFL. The Ravens, they're going to go to 14,000 fans. That's about 20% capacity. The bank holds about 71,000. The Jacksonville Jaguars, they said that they're going to do 25% capacity. We kind of made a joke here in the office. That's kind of what it's like right now for the Jags anyway. The Seahawks, ticket refunds. That's a big thing there because also the Ravens said they're not going to refund their ticket holders for 2020. They're just going to push them to 2021. And then basically one of the biggest stories that came out yesterday, no jersey swaps. We saw a lot of players upset, and rightfully so because let's be real here, right? What's a better chance of you getting the virus? Doing a dog pile with a whole bunch of men or exchanging a jersey? Yeah, it's pretty simple. Bottom line here is this. Hey, COVID's kind of crazy right now, and all we want you to do is go out there and stay safe. Do your part. Obviously, with a coach like Pete Carroll, 69 years old, he's really the people that are going to be affected the most by this. So if you're a Seahawks fan, if you're a 49ers fan, if you're an NFL fan, and if you're just a dude in general, stay safe. Do your part. Go to chatsports.com/staysafe where you guys can get some NFL Masters packs of 2, 3, 4. Heck, you can even just get one. All available at the link that you see below. I'll put it in the comments, and I'll also put it in the description. Let's now keep the show rolling here. We're talking about David Njoku and him going to the New England Patriots. So according to NBC Sports, they believe that Njoku to New England would be the absolute perfect fit. Why? The Patriots have no tight ends, and Njoku wants out of Cleveland, and I don't really blame him, right? As soon as I saw the move, Austin Hooper to Cleveland for 3 years, $42 million, I was like, okay, what exactly happens with David? And really, when you think about David's entire career, when he first came out of Miami, I was like, okay, this guy's super talented, and anytime you see a guy who, has some basketball background, if you will, people get excited. But a first-round pick out of the U came out strong as a rookie, had a very good year then in 2018, and then struggled a little bit with a wrist injury last season, and that really is what limited him. So for me, when I think about him going to New England, I agree. I do think it makes a lot of sense because when you look at what I'm about to show you, close your eyes, it's hard to look at. Yeah, it's not great. Don't actually close your eyes. But I love the note there from producer Brett. Not exactly a room of Gronks. That is 100% accurate, right? It's not pretty. So when you really think about some of these destinations for Njoku, I think it's interesting. So how about this? I want you to take a guess at this, right? Take a stab. Where will David Njoku play this upcoming season? If you're like, Mitch, I don't know. Maybe you could throw out a team. I'll make it a little bit easier for you, okay? We've actually already released a video on some of the top trade destinations for David Njoku. So shout out to my man Tom Downey. He broke down his top 7 teams. If you haven't already, go check out the video. But hey, that's only part of what we do here. You're watching an NFL news and rumor show. We do a lot more. Part of that more is videos like this. So click the subscribe button that you see right underneath this video. We're talking about Zeke because he's not the same. That's not my words. It's Skip Bayless's words. And he's not the only one, okay? So ESPN ranked the top 10 NFL running backs based on a poll, and Zeke was number 3. However, I'm not too upset with the fact that he was ranked number 1. I'm okay with that, but there was some NFL executive that had ranked him at number 11. That's ludicrous, right? And shout out to Luda, but that's insane to me. So here were ESPN's top running backs. At number 1 was Saquon Barkley. At number 2 was Christian McCaffrey. 3 was Zeke. 4 was Alvin Kamara. 5, Derrick Henry. Me personally, I think that's a little bit high for Barkley. I'll put McCaffrey at number 1, considering the fact that the year he had. But the real story here is around Zeke. So here's a quote from an NFL coach. Very few breakout runs. Doesn't look as strong anymore. Feels like he's about 60 to 70% of what he was. 60 to 70% of what he was. I'm going to respectfully disagree. And does Zeke put up the numbers that he used to? No. When he first came out as a rookie, over 1,631 yards. I mean, that's incredible. Has he maybe put on a little bit of weight? Yes, I agree with that. But 60 to 70%, that's not quite it. I love how people are freaking out that Zeke had a bad year. The dude put up over 1,300 yards. He's been one of the most consistent running backs in the National Football League the last 4 years. You're looking at a player that's got 50 total touchdowns in 4 seasons. That's not easy to do. Oh, yeah, and in terms of rushing yards per game, no other running back has more rushing yards per game than Ezekiel Elliott those last 4 seasons. So if we want to freak out and say that he's not the same, y'all can do that. So Skip, I know that's what you got to do. I'm going to respectfully disagree with that. Is he not the same? I don't know. Is he still a great running back? Yeah, absolutely. So who's the best running back in the National Football League? I think the 3 names that you can throw out right now are Christian McCaffrey, Ezekiel Elliott, and Saquon Barkley. If you guys disagree, go in the comments. I get the fact that King Henry led the league last year. For me, I can't put him in that discussion because of his, I should say, inability, if that's a word, to not be able to, inability to catch the football. Those other 3 guys, they can do it. My best running back, though, it's Christian McCaffrey. Let's talk about Julian Edelman, and he had a little bit of a response to Deshaun Jackson. And if you haven't seen Deshaun Jackson's comments yet, maybe you should look him up or get Twitter. So Julian basically invited Deshaun to the Holocaust Museum after the comments that Deshaun Jackson made. Since then, Edelman has come out and said that him and Jackson have since spoke. They said that they've ironed some things out, and then the Edelman basically said that he would go to the National Museum of African American History and Culture because if Deshaun's willing to go to the Holocaust Museum, what he could do at least to do his part to just educate himself and educate the entire world right now is that he would be more than willing to go to the African American History of Culture. So Julian Edelman, at first what it looked like might have been a little bit of a call out to Deshaun Jackson. Seems like that they've ironed some things out on Twitter, and as much as I am glad that they ironed some things out on Twitter, Twitter's a crazy world right now. If you guys want to hit me up on Twitter, I'm @MitchellRenz 365. All right, we're going to give you this offer one more time on today's show because these masks are going rather quickly. You can go to chatsports.com/staysafe because you can get your favorite team, and we have masks for all of them. Shout out to producer Dylan, who spent 5 hours yesterday taking all the pictures that you're about to see on screen, packs of 3. There's white ones. There's different colored ones as well. Pittsburgh Steelers. I didn't even know we had Steelers ones, so shout out to Dylan. Chatsports.com/staysafe. All 32 NFL teams. The ones that you see on screen right now are for $24.99. Also, some of them do ship in 2 business days, so you can get them rather quickly. All right, we're going to wrap up the show here with the richest man in sports history, basically, right now. It's Patrick Mahomes. And so he was interviewed today on SportsCenter about his record-setting deal. And, he talks about how he's going to give back to his parents, how he's going to give back to his girlfriend, and how he's going to give back to the community. And all this took place right before he was getting ready to golf with Travis Kelce and Charles Barkley. And if you guys haven't seen the video of Travis Kelce's girlfriend twerking, it's at least worth a watch. The real reason why I'm talking about this, though, is because he was asked what he's going to be able to accomplish, right? Because anytime a player gets this amount of money, the expectations are high. He basically says that he's trying to chase Tom Brady, and he's trying to get to 6 Super Bowl rings. And, growing up, he watched Brett Favre, he watched Aaron Rodgers, and for him to be mentioned in these type of conversations is flattering. But at the end of the day, if you don't win more Super Bowls after getting this type of deal, I'm sorry, I think it's a little bit overhyped. But 6 Super Bowl rings, that's going to be a tough one. So how about this? I saw, Tom and I, we talked about it on Wednesday because also Colin Cowherd tried to predict how many he would win. Cowherd said only 1. I went with 2 or 3, and I think Tom also agreed with me, or 2 or 3. So how about this? We're going to look in the future, okay? Here's your little crystal ball. Look in it. How many Super Bowls will Mahomes win? I want you to scroll on down and let me know in the comments section. Also, some breaking news here, literally coming across while I'm doing this video. Shaq Barrett, he has accepted his franchise tender. So this is kind of a big deal. So $2 million difference between defensive end and linebacker. Filing a grievance, though, to be tagged as a defensive end. So this is very, very intriguing because that means he is going to make more money. So remember, Shaq Barrett's kind of coming off a very, very impressive season where he had 19.5 sacks. He is one of the best edge rushers, and I think for him, he doesn't want to get paid as just a linebacker. He wants to get paid as an edge rusher. So that's a great move here for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.